What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Game Dev Unchained, the #1 game development podcast about game development and the lifestyle thereof. I am Brandon Pham, and this is a special episode, a roundtable news episode with a good old friend, Ray Graham. How you doing, Ray? You see Ray back there on my TV, so excuse me, but the Game Dev Unchained set isn't officially done, so I'm just in this abandoned warehouse for now in the time being as that is being made. But you know, we're about 7 months into COVID now, 6 months in. And I kind of like to use you, Ray, as a kind of measure of what it's like out there so far. So that's like the closest it's ever been since this thing has started, where I'm like, all right, shit. It's like within reach now, which kind of correlates with how the circle's getting a lot smaller. Do you have anything like that where you're starting to hear more and more people on that side?
No, I haven't heard. Like most folks I know don't have it, at least as far as they know. And I haven't heard of that. Status hasn't changed that much.
Yeah. Well, that's good, man. Well, it seems like the Bay Area actually has been pretty steady, right? There hasn't been any crazy surges.
There's been a bit of a surge, but it's not like Florida or Texas, right?
Yeah. Texas is kind of crazy. But onwards and outwards. Today, again, this is a opinion that reflects our own opinion and not of our employers. So please don't get us fired. Well, I can't get fired, but Ray may get fired. Again, this is just, we're about 3 weeks later, but it's worth mentioning. The last time we did this, we kind of reviewed the Unreal 5 tech demo and Last of Us 2. One of those is out now, which is The Last of Us 2. I think it's appropriate to kind of play catch up. I don't know if you've played the game yet. I haven't, but I've been hearing pretty good things, correct?
Yeah, no, I played a little bit of it. About, what is it? Maybe 3-4 hours into it. And it's a highly polished Naughty Dog game. Like that's what it is. When it comes to the tech and everything, it's super, super, super highly polished. When it comes to gameplay, when it comes to not gameplay, when it comes to just the emotions and the feelings of it and all of that, it's a very depressing game to play so far. But yeah.
Yeah, I heard the user scores were kind of opposite of the critic score. I don't know what that was about. Do you know if that is that some kind of controversy behind that? I don't know because it was 4.9 on Metacritic or anything on user scores.
Yeah,
the critic score is really high. What is that about? What's your theory?
It's about the gamers, it's about the users being upset about certain aspects of it, right? There's been all sorts of spoilers and story spoilers and things like that, and then people are very upset about that stuff. A little bit too invested in the world and all that, and the game went a little bit different direction, and so a lot of people are pissed off about that and started down rating the game. But from my perspective, as somebody who makes video games, and it's a technical, polished marvel. It's a really, really good game in that respect. And yeah, the story might not be what you want, or there might be some stuff that happens that kind of throws you off really early in the game, but suck it up, right?
Yeah, I am looking forward to it. I hope it's more like that. It sounds like they didn't really make any crazy bad mistakes. They did what they usually do, which is pump out a really polished game. People were upset. I didn't read any of these spoilers. I didn't even think the spoilers were such a big deal. I felt like Naughty Dog made a bigger deal out of it than people actually finding out about it or really, really spoiling it. It wasn't to the point where it was in our faces where we're oh my God, I can't play the game anymore. And to be honest, every leak in history has always been like that. Starting back to Half-Life 2 leaks, never ruined the game sales or anything like that. It's always the developers kind of crying about it, but no one else really cares. They're just going to either buy it or or weren't going to buy it before. So glad that kind of brushed over. The user score was a surprise. I was reading a bit on it, but didn't really understood it.
No, when it comes to that stuff, that's not a surprise ever, right?
Okay.
It's a highly touted game that people are waiting for, that has been hyped up to oblivion. That's going to be saving cancer, and then it didn't do all of that for some people, and so they're going to moan and groan about it and still play it and still finish it, and Naughty Dog still got everybody's money. So, yeah, I don't know what the problem is.
Yeah, it is definitely interesting, man. I mean, we are at the end of the era. We're 7 months in. This year has been really slow. I think everyone's pretty over 2020. We haven't officially hit the second wave yet, and we're already having like these surges in California, which it's not even the second wave. It's just, this is basically our first wave where the social distancing stuff worked. People celebrated early as if we had the vaccine. And of course, it went to what we were fearing before, except this time we have more more testing available, I guess. I guess that's the good thing that we didn't have a couple months ago. But yeah, it's happening the same way everybody pretty much thought about it. It was coincidentally like a couple months ago, before it got really bad, my friend was saying that how he's just hanging out with his other friends, and basically, as long as within the last 14 days there was no symptoms, that it should be cool. They were going hikes and stuff. But that's exactly how California is spreading the virus, is between family gatherings and friend gatherings. Like, of course. I mean, what other ways is it? You think you're just going to touch a tomato that someone else touched the day before, and that's how you're going to get it? It's just like, it's you hanging out and breathing on each other, and then the mask falls off, and then you're eating barbecue in the backyard. So it's disappointing. It sounds like it's going to be longer. And thankfully, we don't have any of those Floridans, and I'm sorry, Texans, that have like those arguments inside the city hall about how like wearing a mask is like kind of like wearing one like a mad dog or something, like a muffle. I don't know if you've seen any of that. Like, it's pretty insane how people are reacting to wearing masks or not. Yeah.
No, I'm sure we have people like that in California too, quite frankly.
Oh yeah, we do.
Like,
I saw some clips in Orange County.
Yeah, exactly. There was one in Orange County. That's right.
I saw that video. Yeah, it's
so I'm not gonna single out Texas and Florida on that. There's just some folks want their freedom, I guess, or just tired of it all, right? So
they just don't understand the perfect meme to sum that up that I saw was the idea of like people peeing on each other, right? So if one person wear pants,
oh yeah, that image. Yeah, people are sharing that. Yeah, people are sharing that on Facebook.
Yeah. So if two people wear pants and one pees on the other, it's more and less likely that you're gonna get peed on. I mean, that's the same idea that I for some reason I don't understand why, especially in the Western countries, there's a strong resistance to how it works or not. In Asian countries where they've been through this a few times, everyone's wearing masks even when it wasn't a pandemic. They were just out of courtesy of being sick or not. But yeah, man, I definitely appreciate Canada a lot more. Being in this disaster, like we are really not. Do you miss Canada after all this? Just hearing all your Canadian friends being taken care of month to month and not having to fuss over living.
For sure. For some folks, that's a way better situation. Or at least, or at least the stimulus checks are going to still be coming, right?
We got one, dude.
Do I miss? Do I miss having a sane government? Yeah, maybe. But I'm doing fine. We're doing fine right now, and it's a little inconvenient. It does suck being home, but
how are you passing time? Like, what are you doing? Playing games? Do you have a pattern now that you're falling into? Do you have a
no?
Are you like? Have you gotten used to your monk life? Do you feel like you have reached enlightenment?
I'm generally I generally like staying inside. I generally like staying home. So like the first 2 months, maybe 2-3 months, I was like, this is great. It's fantastic. But now now I need to go out and at least do some stuff.
Yeah.
But
you're being pretty strict, right? You're not one of those people hanging out with friends.
No, man. No, like the only thing I've done recently was we went out to dinner a couple weeks ago. Outdoor dining. Outdoor. Yeah. Outdoor. And it was good just to be out of the house, honestly.
Dude, there was like 8 to 10 restaurants the last 2 weeks in Orange County that got closed down because someone got COVID within those restaurants. So there's like a 2-week ordinance to close. And there was 8 to 10 the last week. I was like, holy crap, man. It's like within opening a week, you have someone with COVID. It's like my gym finally opened up last week after 3 months. And that was my biggest...
I ain't trying to go to no gym right now.
I had to, man. I lost so many gains, dude. Like I was suffering. I was suffering. I know.
Be in your backyard or on the side of the house or something, but you can't. You cannot.
Dude, there's just so many push-ups I can do before I felt like I was getting weak. Like I tried the body calisthenic thing. I was like, let me get into this a bit. Like a weekend, I was like, man, this is not the same. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just using body weight right now. But it's been quite a change, man. And I'm pretty sure the gym's going to close again. As soon as I walk in the gym, I see these questionable people. Like most of them don't even wear a mask, or they wear it like this, right? A lot of those people, they wear it like right underneath their nose, like idiots.
Which is useless, yeah.
Which is kind of like the meme where like you're wearing underwear underneath your penis. It's like the same idea. It's like your penis hanging out over the top. Your nose is just the same. But yeah, I'm. Oh my God. This year is dragging. Like I was the same with you, man. The first 2 months I was like, all right, cool. I mean, I was used to working at home, so that wasn't too bad. But like being forced to be at home all the time, that was new. But my adjustment was probably less scary than everybody else's. But yeah, 7 months. 7 months is too long, dude. Oh my God. I think the worst part is because,
but it hasn't been 7 months. It was
since March, right?
March, yeah.
5 months, right? It feels like 7.
March, April, May, June, July. That's like 4. That's like 4 months, man. So
yeah. Well, what makes it worse is that you have friends and family, right, that are like constantly enticing you to go hang out or not. And I don't know if your family's hanging out as much, because my family is a lost cause. Like I can't, no matter how many deaths and symptoms and like even with recoveries that people come back with this have like long-term damage that they don't know how much long-term. Family's like, I think I can beat it. that's the justification. I was like, I think I can beat it. It's like, what makes you so special, man? Half the world is dying right now.
Is it like some young folks? Is it like young folks in your family?
Young folks, but I think a lot of it's just they're doing whatever they can to like, well, my mental health is way more important. It's like, dude, what are you talking about?
It does affect your mental. It definitely affects your mental health, right? But I was like,
mental weakness, man.
The story I heard yesterday is a friend of mine who will remain nameless. Was like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm going to Vegas like this weekend for a 40th birthday party. And I was like, what?
The last birthday party, right? 40.
And then he was like, no. And then he was like, and then I'm like, yo, like, are you driving? Like that makes sense. If I guess you were driving.
Dude, some people are flying.
No, he's flying. He's flying.
Cheap tickets right now. Yeah,
What?
super cheap right now, man.
And I'm like, how are you going to go to a birthday party in Vegas and be safe, right? He's like, oh yeah, we're going to social distance where we're eating together, and I'm just like, what? Like, what are you talking about?
People use social distancing just to like fit in. I don't think people understand. Yeah, it's so sad, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get to this. Yeah, I mean, it's just depressing, dude. Let me see what I can do here. Let me try to spaz this up. So the focus of today's roundtable is kind of look at the PlayStation 5 news. I mean, I was able to browse through it, and I don't know if you saw the whole thing. Overall, it's pretty cool. It's pretty exciting. It wasn't as crazy to me as the Unreal 5 tech demo. Of course not, right? But it was impressive. I mean, you can definitely tell that there was a jump in graphical fidelity and more things on screen than usual, right? Than PlayStation 4 for sure. But it wasn't a quantum leap that we were all hoping for, right? But I think as game developers, kind of expected this kind of stuff. Let me get this going, actually. Set this up for us. So, yeah. I mean, was there any game in particular that you felt was a standout?
Ratchet and Clank.
Ratchet and Clank, you actually... I have to give it to Insomniac, man. They are very good at keeping their franchises alive. Like, they really...
When we get to it, I'm also agreeing myself, actually.
Are you? One sec. There we go. Turned it off.
Okay, good. When we get to it, right, there's a part of Ratchet and Clank where you're going through the dimensional portals and the warps, right?
Yeah.
That art is showing the power of the PlayStation 5. So it's showing like this is something that you cannot do on PlayStation 4. Right, this is showing the speed of loading on the SSDs, and that is, I think, a really interesting way to show that new functionality in a way that impacts gameplay, right? Mm-hmm. Which is more than just graphics. The worlds were incredibly detailed, but still could load really, really fast. That is a perfect example of why you would want to buy the PlayStation 5, right? There's other games that are like, just minor upgrades over PlayStation 4. But the ones that were all like, we're made exclusively for PlayStation 5, were just crazy amounts of detail, right? The graphic quality itself didn't really increase that much, but the level of detail is a lot, like way more detailed worlds, and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm. So this is
this GTA.
This is the most disappointing one. So this is a lot of talk was about the GTA, how GTA 5 kind of survived like 3 console generations, right? And for them to not announce, it's impressive for Rockstar. It's great for them, of course, and Take-Two to kind of figure out that formula where they don't spend 8 years making a game.
Yeah. So
it was great for the developers, but I think as a gamer, you're kind of disappointed because to me, it felt like the single player life of GTA is dead, right? They're not as invested in that world, which kind of sucks. I mean, I love GTA for a single story, but
like GTA, the next GTA will have a single player story, right? Like I imagine it will, and they will probably double down even more on GTA Online, right? But they're just going to make sure that it's something that will blow your mind away and give them time to make the thing at the scale they want to make it, right? But definitely, bringing GTA Online to PlayStation 5 is just, it's a move to make more money, right? Because they're making mad money on GTA Online, right? So is this another platform to be there and make money, right? So why not? Why not do that?
This guy. I mean, at first I thought these guys were 3D rendered because they're so stiff, right? Did you get that feeling, man? I was like, oh man, did they 3D render this on the PlayStation 5?
You know what it was? It's the really plain backdrop and the really sharp image quality that kind of makes it look that way.
Look fake.
Yeah,
it's good.
Yeah.
It's cool. I mean, if that was intended to be that,
it's kind of an aesthetic that they're going for. You know.
Yeah, if that was on purpose, it's cool. Because I definitely got fooled. I was like, oh, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, all the footage about the sea has been captured. Yeah. So this was Ratchet, right? No, this was Spider-Man. Yeah. So yeah, this is like, a Spider-Man upgrade, and I think my favorite game of the PlayStation 4 generation is definitely Spider-Man. Like, that game is amazing. I finished it, got the DLC, finished the DLC. Like, the game's dope, right? Mm. So now you're going to add Miles Morales to the mix. The graphics there look incredible, right? And then, yeah, you just get me the same gameplay, make it look a little bit better, and put Miles Morales up in there. Like, yeah, I'm playing this. Like no doubt. Yeah. Is it crazy impressive? Is this like, hey, this is what PlayStation 5 is giving me? Not really, but it's a good looking game, man. It's really good looking. Yeah. That's an insta purchase, like, for sure.
Yeah, Insomniac. Oh, here's this guy, right? This guy completely skipped PlayStation 4. There wasn't a Gran Turismo on 4 at all, right?
Yeah, no, there was. There was a GT Sport. Yeah, Gran Turismo Sport.
I thought that was kind of like a in between for their next one, wasn't it?
It's a pretty full fledged game. It didn't have a lot of cars.
It wasn't a solid like numerical Gran Turismo.
Right? Yeah, sure, but it was a I think that's the only Gran Turismo on PlayStation 4, right? So, and honestly, these images, I was not impressed.
Yeah, too many.
Like, this right here is like, that right there is kind of showing off like some ray trace reflections. Right. So, it's gonna be ray trace reflections all over the place. As you can see, everything's shiny. Right. But I'm still like that's all it's really giving me. You know what I mean? It looks good though. Like no lie, it looks good. But when you're playing, it's not necessarily going to look this good. Right. They're using the cinematic models and all that kind of stuff. Right. So, I don't know. Like, I'm anxious to see what it looks like, but I wasn't like completely blown away by this.
Well, this is number 7, right? The 6 was for PlayStation 3, correct? There wasn't a 6 on number. Yeah, see, so they skipped one. The Sport was one of those, like, it was like Phantom Pain. Was it Phantom Pain? What was the one? Ground Zero? That 2-hour experience before.
No, but Sport is not a 2-hour experience. It's like a full-on Gran Turismo game. It's a really big game, right? But it just didn't have a lot of cars. It didn't have a lot of cars in it, but it's a pretty big game. I didn't really feel like it was like some stripped down Gran Turismo experience when I played it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man, they just took too long. It's like one of those situations where a development team took too long, and you're looking at old graphics, right? But there's how many 4s that came out before this is announced that looks so good. It's hard to justify.
Well, they basically just vomit out Forzas at this point, right? Like,
exactly.
They got like 2 different SKUs that they just keep coming out with, right? So,
yeah.
And Polyphony take their time, right?
I don't doubt that Polyphony, it feeling like a real car and the racing and the controls and gameplay is going to be the best. No doubt about that. But the graphics here is very aged. Like, I feel like I've seen current gen games that look better than this as a driving game.
Yeah. But also,
So that
this
was
is like this.
disappointing.
I don't think it's coming out at launch, right? And so they have time to improve it too. Right?
Yeah.
But here's the game. Here's the game I'm talking about right here.
This is Ratchet? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Well, it's cool that they did the portal thing. I'm curious how that works. But you're saying this is the fuller. You say out of everything, this had the fuller processing power of the PlayStation.
Yeah, look at this. The first shader going on. Look at the amount of detail in this world. The amount of stuff going on. It'll start doing some gameplay in a minute. But this looks good. You can see like some translucence effects. Just look at the amount of detail. It's just bonkers.
Yeah, it looks good.
And then right here, loading a new level, boom. Right, like what?
Instantaneous.
That's impossible. Yeah. That's just impossible, right? So another level, boom, full level detail. Like what?
This is cool.
Like, this is just them showing off. They're just showing off at this point, right?
No, this is definitely the nearest Unreal 5 tech demo. Of course, it's a different style, but to me, it was the closest out of all the demos that felt like a huge jump.
Yeah,
it looks fun, man. I'm actually looking forward to playing this one.
I mean, the Ratchet and Clank games are usually really fun, right? So
yeah, I've always liked the Spyro, Crash Bandicoot, all those type of games. Jack and Daxter. I used to play all those on PlayStation 2. So this is developed by the North Carolina team, right? Because there's 2 Insomniac studios.
I know folks that were working in the Burbank office that worked on this. So
okay, they're just helping out. But
I don't know. Yeah.
I thought the North Carolina team was the main team work on Ratchet and Clank. Where's this guy? Do they say which studio it belongs to?
I'm pretty sure, like, when you have multiple studios like that, though, like, you're gonna have everybody just all hands on deck, make the game. They have 2 games that are going on in the same studio, right? So
sure, but there's always a 2K Marin or 2K Australia.
Why are you being like that? Oh my god!
Hey man, I didn't make that dichotomy, dude. It's not my fault. I was very civil.
I should have turned the lights on when I turned the light on.
There you go. Well, I think on behalf of the listeners, we appreciate you finally upgrading your mic.
Oh, can you tell the difference?
Yeah. You sound legit now. You sound like I pay you somewhat, but not really.
You can pay for my mic if you want.
I know, right? I've been trying. I keep thinking every month, like, man, I got to get him the mic, but I just keep forgetting to send it to you. But I'll pay for you the mic as a thank you. Let's see. So this is still Ratchet and Clank, right? Yeah.
It's Ratchet and Clank, man. But like this, gameplay, like you're playing and showing the portal stuff, and of course you see the ray trace reflections on the floor. Like doing a portal change right here. 1, 2. So that's like a 3-second load of a whole different level. You know what I mean?
Do you know any friends at Insomniac? Because I know they use a proprietary engine. I mean, it looks great.
Custom engine.
But how's the usability of it? Is it just the same as every other?
Yeah. I have no idea, quite frankly. I should ask some folks I know.
Because this is different than what they used on Spider-Man, right? Or are they using the same one?
No, I think it might be the same engine, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's. I'm always curious about that. Like the Sony studios, I know Insomniac wasn't a Sony studio until recently, but their first-party studios are always using proprietary engines that suck.
Mm-hmm.
but it looks great.
Man,
Like
well,
you know,
you can say they suck, but the games they're making are second to none at this point, right? Like some really great looking games they're making.
yeah. Oh, that's what people say about Call of Duty, but I still say the engines suck. The tools suck.
You always hate the engine that you have, right? Like that's the golden rule.
All right, Mr. Unity. Sounds like you love Unity. This guy. Yeah.
No, but like no, every PlayStation Studios game that they've come out with the last 2-3 years have just blown people's socks off, right? Like high quality.
So what do you think that's about, right? Is it like the inner competitiveness? How are they so able to kind of keep pumping out hits from different studios like that?
I think all these places have they all take their time, right? They don't just come out with a game every 1 or 2 or 3 years, right? These are games that come out and it's like the last one came out 6 years ago, right? Like they take their time, right? And of course we hear of all sorts of, work-life balance stories and crunch and all that at all of these places.
Yeah.
But the games that come out of a lot of these companies are just really well done because they just take their time, polish.
Yeah. So we're watching Project Agathia for the podcast listeners. I keep forgetting that people listen.
Designed
to this. We got to describe it. So this is the fantasy. Is that Square Enix, right? That's a Square Enix.
Yeah.
That one looked really interesting. That was original IP, right?
Yeah. I wasn't
I'm not very impressed dark by fantasy. You didn't like the dark fantasy look? This guy. This is the cat game, right?
Yeah, the cat game. Yeah. Stray.
So this guy, what's his name? Kunix. Do you remember his name? The main developer for this. So he makes like a lot of these Unreal 4 tech demos. A few years back, I know Ronaldo loves this guy. And he finally decided to make this game that's been kind of teased for a while. And right now what we're seeing is a bunch of like alien urban alleyway with the cat kind of walking through the environment, and there's no humans existing whatsoever. It's just robots doing human stuff. And it has a very interesting art style. And I need to read more on this, but I think the team is very small too that created this. This is being published by Annapurna. That's snatching up all the... Are they the biggest indie publisher player right now out of everybody?
I don't know if they're the biggest, but their name comes up a lot for sure.
A lot.
A lot. But look at that fur. And if they say this was captured on the PlayStation 5, like, yeah, that looks really good. That looks really good.
Smart too. Going with cats. That's going to sell like bonkers. For cats. I'm a dog guy, so.
Yeah, people love cats. But yeah, there's just so many. Like, the thing too about this whole video, after I was watching it, I was just like, Sony is all about games. They love video games, and so they showed high-end AAA from their first party studios. They showed a bunch of indie stuff, some middle of the road AA looking stuff. Many different types of genres, many different types of play styles. Like they were just like, look, we have games. Like you come to our system, there's going to be all of these games are going to be here for you, right? Which is something that I have to say that your boys at Microsoft haven't really shown quite yet. Right?
My boys, I'm a Sony fan. So like this 3D audio thing has been being pimped a lot, right? Since Unreal Tech Demo. Yeah. So they're showing the controller now, and I would love to know your thoughts about the look of the console in a bit. But what's so special about the 3D audio again? I don't understand. I feel like isn't that more about with my Sonos setup than the PlayStation?
No,
Like what does the PlayStation do? Yeah.
It's about giving you a sense of immersion, right? So then if the PlayStation has dedicated hardware that to do all these spatial effects, it relieves the main thread, the main processor for doing actual game stuff. And you can do this really complicated audio stuff on this dedicated processor, right? So you could get more immersive effects and sound cheaper, right? The thing that you really should be asking is, will we finally give audio guys more budget to do audio stuff?
Still one guy. Because still one guy. The last 2 weeks of shipping, it's just like they're not going to have time. It's nice that they dedicated some chipware, but they're not going to.
Like I'm sure all the audio folks are super happy about this, right? But it's like, are we going to give them the budget to actually do it?
Yeah, you still got 2 weeks. We're taking that processor too.
So now this game right here, I'm a big Housemarque fan. I think every game that Housemarque makes is pretty dope. This is a big departure from the type of games that they usually make.
Can you give a little backstory of Housemarque? I'm not familiar with them. What else do they make?
Housemarque has made a bunch of PlayStation games that are like top-down twin stick shooters.
Okay.
And so their games are always like 60 frames. I can't remember. Oh, what was it? Resogun. Yeah, Resogun was their most recent game.
Okay.
And Resogun is a great game. And they had some other games that I can't remember right now. But I'm always super impressed with their games. And then I saw this. I'm like, Housemarque is making this. This is crazy. Like, this is completely different from what they usually make.
Mm-hmm.
And then later on around here, I think in the video, you'll start seeing a whole bunch of bullets getting shot everywhere. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay, that looks like a Housemarque game. Mm-hmm. But it's no longer a twin stick top down. It's got, third person control, shooting things, and looks like a horror vibe. Yeah, see all the bullets everywhere. Yeah, that's Housemarque.
I do like the context of it. It's playing with the Groundhog Day looping effect mixed with Dark Souls. So it seems like every time you die, you got to start over, which is really trending the last few years.
Yeah. I would say, like, I don't think the graphics are that amazing from what I've seen in that video.
Well, like you said, right? They're used to having the camera far away.
for yeah, that's a small team though, right? I can't even remember.
I don't know, man. That's not even an excuse anymore. I've seen small teams make great graphics, man.
for shader going on here.
This one I missed. I don't remember seeing this one. Looks like it's like a tiger, stuffed animal. Oh, Little Big Planet.
Right. It's Little Big Planet. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Very surprised that they came out with this one. I thought they were going to fully dedicate to Dreams, which they just released, right?
But this is not Media Molecule, right? This is a different dev studio. This is a Sumo. Sumo's making this.
Oh, did they give up the IP?
Right. Well, Sony owns the IP, right? Because Media Molecule is Sony company.
Oh, what? That's fucked up. It's right? Like a Bioshock 1 studio seeing a Bioshock game being made by another studio.
What I like about this, though, is they're like, hey, we have Sackboy. The kids love Sackboy. Let's just make a Mario game with Sackboy. And if you do a Mario game right, like it could be a really fun game to play, and it looks pretty cool. So like, I'm not mad.
I mean, user-generated games. I've talked about this in the podcast with several guests, even in the last GDEX, right? We had one speaker kind of dedicate to that. It's an emerging market, right? It's huge. It's going to be huge. It's the closest to a modding community in this generation that we've had recently. Since Counter-Strike modding. Oh,
Yeah, I
this
don't think
one you
this
don't
game
build?
I don't think you build anything in this. I think it's just a Mario game. They haven't shown
What?
anything. Like that's what I'm assuming because they haven't shown any sort of user generated content here, right?
That's bullshit. No one wants to play Sackboy. Sackboy was like a mascot that looks bland
Hey,
as shit for a reason.
hey,
You can't compete with
you
Mario.
have Sackboy, and you want it your own kid IP. You're gonna go for it. Like that's what's
I
up.
guess. I mean, Sony does that with their PlayStation All Stars. Every few years, they
Yeah,
feel like they can copy Nintendo, or
yeah,
let's try to
exactly.
copy Nintendo every few years and fail miserably, because that's not what our core audience is about.
Now this game, I do not like. I don't know, man. I
Is
just
this
don't.
like Twisted Metal or something? So this is like a bunch of car crashing right
It's
now, characters running
it's
around with ragdoll.
yeah, it's Twisted Metal that you can get out of your car and run around. And I'm like, why are you getting out of your car though? Like, what's going on? And but the destruction looks amazing on the cars. The level of destruction is really detailed. But still, I'm like, why are you running around
What's
in
the
a
goal of the
car
game?
crashing? Yeah,
They're doing some
what's
parkour too.
yeah, and they're trying to show all the different characters, right? Like all these different goofy looking characters. So that's probably going to be a focus. But I'm like, but why? Right? Like I'm confused. I don't know what's about.
Because people like seeing themselves in games, Ray. That's where the money's at, so we can sell hats and masks. See, I would understand it if they did kind of like Rocket League, where they're riffing off of hockey, right, or another sport. And
Mhm.
I don't know if that's the case, but they did not showcase that at all. They were showcasing the characters.
Well, they're showcasing the characters and the destruction on the cars.
But they should have showed more gameplay, what the goal of the game is. It would have been more successful.
Yeah. Now this game that you're about to see is very, very pretty. Very, very pretty.
I really did skim through all this. I don't remember. Yeah, what I saw from PlayStation was just they completely focus on gameplay, which is smart. This one. Okay.
Like this is gorgeous.
Yeah, I knew a couple of friends that worked on this before they left. And I guess this company has quite a history.
Yeah, and if you're telling me that this was captured on PlayStation 5 at this quality,
Don't believe it.
it's pretty good. Well, here's the trick, right? When you say something's captured on the device, they don't really say at what frame rate they captured it at, right? So
Yeah.
but still, like, yeah, this looks great.
It's cool. So I'm seeing kind of like it actually reminds me of a PlayStation 3 game, the art style. Forgot which one, but it has like a kiddish fantasy look to it. Looks like an adventure RPG. There was a game in PlayStation 3 that, of course, is not as high fidelity, but it kind of reminds me of that kind of kids adventure Zelda feel that this is kind of going with.
This also kind of looks like what's that game? Pikmin? Yeah.
They have like these little Totoro characters.
All the little guys following you around.
That's cool. This looks really cool.
This looks good, man. Yeah, this looks real good. Like I really like. Oh, look at that! That's great. I like the stylized art style, and yeah, that just looks like Kenya.
Yeah, like a lot of the PlayStation 5 game isn't, at least for these demos, aren't like crazy impressive like Unreal 5 tech demo, but you can definitely tell there's just more things on screen that current gen can't handle. For sure, everything's just looks more fuller. which is a huge jump. And then what is this?
And so this is what I mean when I say Sony just loves games, because then this game is like a completely different type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's getting showcased, you know, as part of Sony's thing, right alongside Spider-Man and all these other big AAA games. And it's like an indie title about, dinosaurs going to high school.
What? Dinosaurs going to high school. Okay.
Well, that's basically what it is, right? Like that's what you're seeing here.
Yeah, I didn't. I missed this completely.
Yeah,
I probably skipped through.
Goodbye, Volcano High. And the art style is definitely not my cup of tea. It's not my thing.
It's a style for sure. I mean, it's consistent.
It's a very consistent and good art style. Yeah.
So what's the game? It's like story based.
It's like a story based game, and you're at high school, and I think you play as one of those dinosaur characters.
So you're just playing like dialogue trees all day. All right.
Like Sony just was like, hey, we have different types of games. So what type of game do you want to play? We got you, right?
All right. The one thing I was surprised about this, they didn't talk anything about their VR set.
No.
I was very surprised. Oh, this guy, man. This guy, I see him like at every... I think I saw him at your Unity, whatever.
Well, you did, because it's hashtag made with Unity, Oddworld.
Yeah. I met him at the section when I was working at Section Studios, like with Larry. He was kind of looking for external development, and we were talking to him. But it's cool, man. He kept at it, and it's being made. Yeah, Oddworld is definitely a huge IP.
Yeah, you will see when it gets to the gameplay bits. It's they have a really high quality bar when it comes to art, and the quality of their art. And the game is pretty fun, I would say.
Yeah, it's a cool IP. I think they can do a lot more with this IP, man, like shows and comics and stuff. The world is very realized.
Mm-hmm. Like this looks good, bro. I'm not mad at this.
That's good. Yeah,
destruction, explosions going on, train, the lighting. Yeah, hashtag made with Unity, bro. That's what's up.
It's cool. Do you know who's developing this for them? For that guy?
They have a bunch of developers, but I don't know who it is right now.
Who the main one is? I don't think I ever played an Oddworld game all the way through. I just remember seeing it.
You didn't play Abe's Odyssey back in the day?
I remember seeing it, but I never played through it. So it's like a combination of a little bit of Lemmings, right? And Prince. Or what's the best way to describe it?
Soulstorm is kind of amping it up, but it's definitely some Lemmings. You have followers, you tell them what to do, but you could like give them weapons, and then they just start wrecking shop, and then that one is the levels are like destructible, and it's crazy, right? You're supposed to rescue them and take them to the end of the level, right? There's people trying to stop you, and you can craft your own weapons out of different things you pick up, and yeah, it's a really interesting game.
Oh.
This one.
Is this the Tencent game? No,
I don't know who's.
This is Yakuza.
This one. No. Is it Yakuza? Is it Yakuza? Hold on.
I feel like this is Yakuza. Oh wait, no. I thought it was. This is the alien one.
Yeah. And I was just kind of like, yeah, okay. This looks okay, sure.
I thought it was Yakuza. Yakuza with the alien twist or something.
Nah, it's not. It's not Yakuza.
It's not Yakuza.
No. I can't remember the name of the game at all right now.
Yes. This game looks
this game is giving me like a This was giving me like a Killer 7 vibe, honestly.
Oh,
If you ever played Killer 7, like I kind of got a vibe. Yeah.
what game is this? I forgot. So we're obviously in Tokyo, Japan. There's a lot of like mass figures, motorcycle scene, a little bit of horror vibe with it, some kind of Bioshock plasma going on. You know, typical Japanese weirdo directions. What is it called? Face? Oh, no. It says Face.
Come on.
Face the Unknown.
Yeah. That's
so
crazy.
Backshit crazy. Ghostwire Tokyo. It's a cool name.
2021. Yeah, but yeah, that's a game that looks like they were making it for PlayStation 4, and they're like, you know what? Okay, yeah,
yes,
sure, we can throw it on PlayStation 5.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. Try to sneak one in there. Yeah, again, its launch titles are a mixed bag, man. It's always like that. It's like you're gonna get an upgraded PlayStation 4, or you have like an exclusive game. I was surprised to see Horizon, man. That did not feel like 6 years. Like, how long was that?
It's not.
How did they make one so quick? Is it a legit sequel or was it expansion?
It feels like it might just be. It seems like it might just be it's a sequel, but it's not like a full on. Like they're using the same engine, same tech, maybe adding some new stuff here and there, right? Because that's
a lot better, right? I gotta remember.
Yeah,
maybe.
It looked a lot better, but not like crazy leaps and bounds better, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think in Horizon, when they do the underwater part, I thought that blew my mind. I was like, whoa, that looks really good, right? So there's definitely like a quality increase. But yeah, you know, it's the same engine, it's the Decima engine, right? This game, we're not even talking about this one, and I'm just like, I don't even know what to say about this.
I don't even know what this is. What is this? Seeing a bunch of landscape with really low poly art stylized. Sure. Yeah. All right.
And
it's called low poly. There's a sky scene, some more bad fluid animation. It's got to be indie. What is this?
What's the indie title? The Far Shore. Yeah.
Showed me nothing. Yeah. Nothing happened. Oh my god. Holiday 2020?
Yeah.
It's next.
Well, that's right. That's from the folks that did Sword and Sorcery, right?
That didn't look so great. Maybe the story's really good.
Yeah, you know, it looks good for an indie title. It looks really nice.
This is from Gearbox Publishing.
Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, I was kind of hyped for this game, quite frankly. And then the more I see of it, it's Godfall. The more I see of it, I'm like, I don't know.
We hyped from it, man. The first time I saw Godfall, I was disappointed. Because that was the first PlayStation 5 game that they showed.
Well, they showed the first one. I think they showed Xbox Series X thing first.
Oh, so it's going up for Xbox Series X as well?
Yeah, it's gonna be on all the platforms. But like I like these type of games, but then the more I see, the more I'm like, nah, I don't know, man.
Dude, the art looks trash. Everything's so shiny. That was my first complaint. Everything's unnecessarily clean and shiny.
I'm not gonna be as blunt as you're being right now.
Well, who's making this? Is this like a respected developer or something?
Like, I mean, you know, it's who's it from? Who's making it?
Is it Counterplay Games?
Counterplay Games, yeah.
Never heard of them. I didn't know Gearbox published games, dude. I thought they were just
they started publishing,
taking money from people.
So they started publishing, bro.
I thought their thing was just promising false bonuses and just get the game. That's how I thought that's what they do. So this is a Solar Ash.
I don't know nothing about that. Yes, this also looks interesting too. Like I don't know what this game is. I have no idea what's going on. But I'm like, I'm interested to hear more, or to see more.
So these are developers of Hyperlight Drifter. This is their next game.
Yeah.
A lot of anime influence for sure.
Yeah. I don't know what this is. No idea.
There's just, when it comes to teases, man, I'm always like, I get it when you just want to show a little to incite curiosity, but there comes a moment where you just gotta like be clear to incite curiosity, right?
But if part of your style, like this part right here, I was like, yo.
Yeah, that's a good shot.
Part of your style, if part of your style is to be weird and different and make you think, right? Then the more obscure it is, the better, right? I guess is kind of how folks are approaching it.
Yeah, I'm always cautious with people whose message is about obscurity, because they either are mad geniuses or complete bullshit, right? There's a thin line between those.
Well, they already made it. They already made a game, right? So I think they know what they're doing.
Sure. We keep falling back on that, but you fool me once, man. All right, so this is Hitman.
Hitman. Yeah.
Is it Hitman? No.
Yeah. No. I believe it's Hitman. Yeah.
See, that's strong art direction, man. If I can just tell by like the feeling of it.
Well, they showed Homeboy in the beginning, right?
Oh, did he? All right.
You just
did he had a Trump power tie on? Oh, he didn't have his red tie on.
I think
he finally figured that that was just exposing himself too much. You don't really blend in with a full black on black suit with a red tie. You're a smart man.
But this is another game that they use a custom in-house engine.
Yeah.
So,
do you know any story behind them using that engine?
No, not much story. No. I do know that it has better tool. It has pretty good tools. But of course, like I said, everybody complains about the engine that they have.
Except for Unreal and Unity, dude.
No, they definitely complain. They definitely complain about those ones too. For good reason. For good reason, a lot of times too. But,
yeah, mostly programmers. Well, I guess Unity, you guys still work on your tools, so. Unreal. What is this?
I think it's still Hitman, isn't it? Or did they switch to a different game? No, this is still Hitman.
It's still Hitman. Oh, yeah, they're not showing gameplay, though. Yeah, this is where I felt like, oh, they're going to show gameplay, and then they didn't.
Ray trace reflections, though. They're showing you a lot of that. Yeah.
Is this Hitman 3? Is that what they're saying?
Yeah, Hitman 3. Yeah.
There's only 3?
And you're like, well, there was Hitman 2, and then there was Hitman. Hitman 3.
They didn't do number 2? Oh man, that's so confusing, dude.
I think there was Hitman 2, and then the latest Hitman that came out was just called Hitman again. They just reset the numbering, and now this one is Hitman 3. I believe that's
one of their.
This is their
VR bot thingy, right?
Yeah, let's be Nintendo, right? Let's make a kids game that kids will want to play, right?
It's too half-assed, man. There's nothing appealing about this.
I would say it's nothing appealing, right? It's like
it's not a character that.
Yeah, do you think that character kids out here are dying to play? Like, I don't think so. I agree with you, but
but that's the problem with their mascot with Sackboy and that Astro. I think it's called Astro, right? The little robot. Those are supposed to be bland because they were presenting something else, right? With Sackboy was the user generated stuff. Supposed to be bland. And Astro was kind of demonstrating more of the VR features. They were never meant to be the mainstream. This one looks really interesting. I love this one.
It does. Oh, it does.
See, this is how you do low poly, man. This is low poly with a purpose. It's an art style. The number one thing I hate when people use low poly and they call it art style is like, bro, you just don't know how to model. But this is, you can tell this team knows how to model. They chose to go with this art style. So it looks fantastic. Man. This looks amazing. Use all that resource somewhere else. Look at that. The choices with the environment to make it realistic. To contrast with the low poly, man, this is someone knowing what they're doing, man. All praise. Yeah. I love it. This is who? What else do they make? The studio?
I can't remember the studio this is.
Love it. It's like a French movie. So artistic. Yeah. See, I want to explore with this guy. So it looks like an open world RPG. This guy's shitting. There's a sense of humor in it. Looks like a sword fighting with
some combat, NPCs. some gun stuff, and
it's fun animation. Look at this. That thing was only like 80 polys, man. The scariest thing I've ever seen. That's cool. Yeah, dude, this is awesome.
This is just like we have art direction. Like we know what's up. Yeah. Little devil inside. Yeah.
Oh, even a good name for it. That was my standout favorite right there out of everything. I mean, I love the Ratchet too, but to me, that new IP was very exciting because I know nothing about it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, these are your friends are here, right? Dude, how are they doing? How are they doing the next game? Well, I guess out of everybody.
What do you mean? Yeah, work from home like everybody else.
But like,
they make a.
Don't you have to fly in superstars all the time and make things work?
They make a brand new game
every 9 months. Every 10 months. Yeah. But they had to fly in Zion, dude.
I'll say though, like even this, the thing that impressed me the most was that shot right there.
Yeah,
and even then I was like, the sweat looks a little weird, but it looks like the skin looks good.
The character is a standout. The environment for this one, the lighting for this environment looks weird, but the character was like so realistic.
Yeah, like except for the sweat kind of ruined it, but
hey man, that's how Zion sweats. You don't know.
He sweats like and it looks like a 2-bit mask on his face. Right?
Yeah. That's how he sweats, dude. Dude, do you think Zion's gonna be the next big superstar? Like the big superstar after LeBron and Kobe?
Who knows? Like, he still has a long way to go. But that's what everybody's hoping for him. But we'll see. Now this game here, I don't know what this game is. This game's crazy.
So we're seeing a strawberry that's stylized, walking through blades of grass. Yeah.
A lot of people with that I know were like
googly eyes.
Yeah, a lot of people I know were like, I'm buying this game immediately. And I'm just like, what?
Are they just hipsters living in San Francisco, dude?
You know, it's an indie game from the same people that did Octodad, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I know that guy.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know. It was like
But
what's his name? Philip
I'm still, yeah. I'm still confused. Though. I'm still
Zaboski.
confused.
All right, so see, all right, I trust them now. Gotta hit this guy up then. We've had him on the podcast before.
Bug Snacks is what this game's called.
You either go realistic or you go super weird, man. And that's
this
makes it memorable.
Definitely super weird. It's definitely super weird.
Yeah,
but a lot of people were talking about it, and they were like, "Yeah, I'm playing this game. This game's amazing."
Have no idea what this game is.
And this is also using a custom engine, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Does that surprise you when indie development teams design their games on a custom engine? Is that very common? Really. Am I missing out here?
It's definitely not very common, but it's not that surprising if you feel that no other engine can do what you wanted it to do, and then you end up, if you do it once, then now your engine is something you're familiar with. You know the tools, you know how to make stuff with it, and now you can if you're indie and you can spend the time, you can build off of it. Yeah.
How realistic of making an engine an asset for an indie company anymore? I mean, the hopes of it being sold off or being actual value of the indie company, is that a thing anymore? Or
what do you mean if they sold it like commercially?
Not just commercially, but does it bring value to any company to have like a custom engine anymore?
Well, I think
people look at them differently. Yeah.
I think it brings value, like in terms of like, how it works, the ins and outs of it, exactly what it does, what it's capable of, every line of code, every tool that is used in it. That's valuable, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the question is, how valuable is it? What's the risk versus the reward, right?
Yeah.
Do you really want to spend time writing an engine, or do you want to spend time making a video game, right?
Right.
That's
don't do
mathematics. That's mathematics that people have to do for themselves, right? So
don't do it.
This is the From software. This is Demon Souls, right?
So is this a remake, right? Remaster, or is it a new IP? I was confused.
No, it's Demon Souls.
Yeah, so it's a remaster, right?
It's not like it's a sequel, right?
Is it a sequel? See, I get so confused with the names now. I lose track of them because they're so similar. There's Dark Souls. What was that before?
I believe. Which one was the first one? I thought it was Demon Souls was the first one.
Yeah, so they have the same name.
Right. And then they did Dark Souls, and then this is Demon Souls. Like, I think there's a subtitle on it, but I can't remember what the subtitle was. But yeah,
I think he's gonna show it again. So it's not a remake or remaster. It's a completely new IP from the same team. Blue Point. No, Blue Point's
I can see. But I think it's published by From Software though.
Blue Point, isn't that PUBG? No.
Oh, now this game here, that's Bluehole, that's PUBG. But this game here looks really interesting. I like the style. I like what they were going for.
It's playing around with the groundhog theme. This is like the second game using the loop. It's very trendy now.
Yeah, it's also a good way. It's also a good way to save on content costs, right?
It's smart, man. I mean, it is a very gamey mechanic. I'm surprised not a lot of games do it until this year, right? Or the coming year.
But like, I get, it's arcane. I get the no one lives forever vibes. It's just
good art. You got to execute through the same This is single player,
the
though.
character. Yeah, it feels like single player, and then later on, it kind of feels like it could possibly be a co-op game or adversarial PvP type of game.
Arcane has been very impressive to me.
I feel like Arcane knows how to make games like like BioShock, right? Because you're gonna get a lot of BioShock from this, System Shock, like that's the type of games they make with Prey and what's the other one? I can't. That's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't. Dishonored, yeah. Like they know what's up.
Yeah, they're very like unique, and they're like the development studios that kind of remind me of like the PlayStation 2 heydays, where these game studios were making hits after hits, right? And just have like a very strong core design team in every other discipline. Like the last one before Arcane was Rocksteady for me, where it was like they came out of nowhere and they just fucking nail like game design from beginning to end. Those Batman games were the most polished type of games I ever played. And I feel like Arcane kind of plays along with the same vein, where beginning to end, they have it very well planned.
Arcane's about those systemic, immersive simulation games, right?
Mm. It's interesting. I like it. Cool art. Now it looks like, now it's showing more multiplayer-ish.
Yeah. And like they don't really say like what this other character has to do with it, right? But she's trying to kill you. You're trying to get through the level and kill these other folks, right? So I could see that kind of being like a 2-player type of game.
I hope it's kind of like it plays along more with like the Left 4 Dead thing, where you're trying to prevent players from completing their mission, right?
Yeah.
It's a nice breakaway from these player versus player competitive modes. And it's been a while, man. Left 4 Dead have been years, but like I'm very surprised not a lot of games kind of take that formula and go with it. I mean, I guess Payday-ish kind of did that.
Yeah. Yeah, but like just everything about this, I'm just like, I dig this style.
The 70s vibe too. I like that.
Yeah. And then you can play as homegirl too, right? Yeah.
It's cool. I like it. All right. Let's skip through this.
But of course, like anything in there, did that look like a PlayStation 5? Like you need a PlayStation 5 for it?
No.
It just look like a cool ass game though, right? Look like a game you want to play, right?
Sure. What game is this? This looks like one of those like PlayStation 4 didn't ship it on time, so let's put it on PlayStation 5 for game 2.
Why you a hater, man?
Man, I can tell, dude. We can all tell. So you didn't ship on time. Let's do it on PlayStation 5. All right, let's fuck it. Who cares?
Honestly, like I don't think there's any other games in this reel that really hyped me until the end, until you saw Horizon, right? So
yeah. Skip it. Let's skip it.
That's right. There's the Werewolf one. Oh, this one was crazy too.
This one was... Who made this one? I forgot.
It's on the tip of my tongue too. Was it Capcom?
Does have a Capcom feel to it. That's cool.
But yeah.
It's showing like a holographic cat right now in what looks like New York City that has like a huge wiry tentacle. It looks like time, space froze. This is like a time warp thing.
I don't know what that is. That just looks crazy.
It's VHS. Glass is shattering, gravity turned off. You got this astronaut boosting around, saving this little girl on his back. This looks like a Kojima game, to be honest, if he made a space game.
That's what I thought too when I first saw it. I was like, "Is this Kojima?" But I think it's
That's
else.
cool. Made a wire mesh to kind of stop a satellite from falling onto their face, and now he's falling in the sky, going in space.
They're
It's so batshit crazy. Pragmata.
Pragmata. Yeah.
She's in
And
space.
this is also going to be on Xbox. This is also going to be on Xbox as well. So.
It's cool. It looks interesting.
Like, I mean, they didn't really show anything, but you're like, yeah, let me check that out.
Of course it's at Capcom. You're right, Capcom. Capcom always makes those crazy sci-fi shit. Let's go. Keep going. We're almost done here. This Horizon right here, right?
That's it. That's Horizon, yeah.
So it's just a 1.5, correct? Let me zoom back here. Let's go.
I'm not even gonna. I wouldn't even say that, man. Like, I mean, like this shit looks really good.
So it's too fast for a sequel, which is why I keep wanting to say it's not Horizon Zero Dawn 2. They don't even call it Horizon Zero Dawn 2, right?
Yeah. But I mean, if you're building, it's not called Horizon Zero Dawn 2, right?
See,
but
that looks great.
You're building, you're building on the same engine. You amp up the tech, amp up everything you're doing. You could probably turn that around pretty quickly. How long has it been? It's been like 3 years, hasn't it?
It's pretty short, man. It's too short for another game.
This is coming out in 2021, I believe, right?
It's 4 years. It's crazy for a AAA game. It's an open world-ish game too. It's crazy. I still got to play through the first one.
And I went back to playing the first one again. Yeah. And yeah, I'm digging it. It's a pretty good game. Because I bounced off of it kind of hard because of the pacing in the beginning. Yeah. And so I didn't really get much. I played for like 10 hours and didn't really get that far into the game. Right. Yeah. But I finally kind of broke through that part, and the game's pretty good.
Picking up the pace.
Yeah.
I'm just glad for Guerrilla, man. They've always been up there in terms of quality for me. It's just that even though Killzone had somewhat of a niche audience, it never really went Halo big, right? And then what else did they make after that? It was mostly that, and then this, right? There wasn't anything between.
Yeah, and like Horizon is like their new engine, right? The Decima engine, which is proven to be a very good engine.
Yeah.
Or at least it's proven that you can make pretty good stuff with it. Because then Kojima used it for Death Stranding, right? So
yeah. Looks good.
It just looks good, man. I'm mad. I wish I was on my end. It's the compression's killing it, but yeah, it looks dope.
It's clean on this side. Let me see here. Camera's getting hot. All right, man. And that's pretty much it. I think this is the last thing, right?
Yeah, this is the last thing. Yeah, that was good. Love it.
All right. So let me switch back real quick as I get that situated. Oh my God,
that guy's beard. That guy's beard was huge. Yeah.
These people.
But yeah, Ben, that's that.
All right. Let me get you set up right here.
Oh yeah, this is where they show they're gonna show the actual box. That's what they show at the end.
right. So what do you think of the box? Are you a fan?
It looks all right. It looks fine. It looks fine. People had jokes, and the jokes are always funny. You know, we always make fun of the hardware when it first gets announced. But yeah, no, it looks pretty good. Like it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I saw
the concern.
everyone at the same
concern
spot,
is,
right?
yeah, the concern is like when you compare the size. Like people are trying to compare the size of it to other things, and it seems like it's a really big console.
Is it? I'm looking at it. It doesn't look that.
No, some people are doing size comparisons based on the size of the disc slot, and the controller, and it could be a very big box.
It's look.
I think that looks pretty cool. It looks like, you know, like a very standard, you know, consumer electronics device. You know.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like PlayStation 4 with a binder around it.
The more interesting bit is the whole digital edition, right? So like going full on and embracing digital from day one. That tells I still think that tells me that it's going to be pretty expensive, but because then the digital edition will probably be another $100 cheaper or whatever.
Only $100 just to not have the Blu-ray thing. So.
Yeah, I think that's what I would expect would be like $100 cheaper.
So much. Yeah. What would you get, man? Because Blu-ray is kind of out, right? It's not.
4K Blu-ray is still doing the thing, but yeah, most people are streaming, right? So it's really about what do you do and what do you need. I have a feeling though that it's going to be pure digital editions that are going to be available. You know, like, you know, so you're going to go to the store wanting to buy one, and it's going to be like, nah, we only have digital edition, right? So, but like when it comes to games, I stream, I download all my games anyways.
Yeah,
but
I guess I'm at that place where I don't know which one to get at this point.
Yeah,
as long as you have an account. Yeah. As long as they have my account tied to these games that I eventually will buy, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and I definitely don't need a disc drive for games, right? But I do have 4K Blu-rays. I have a few of those.
Yeah, you're the only one left, dude. No one buys Blu-ray anymore. Everyone streams.
No, you're right. No, you're right. You're right. But like I said, like I don't buy everything 4K Blu-ray. Like I have a few choice titles that are like, yeah, that looks good. And the difference between that and streaming is still very noticeable, but you have to look at it side by side pretty much in this day and age. But yeah, but Sony just came with it. They just came with the games, showing a ton of different games. And that's kind of what I like seeing that. I think that's good. Like they're like, look, we're coming out with a new box, and here's all the games you'd be able to play on this thing. I think that's really cool.
Right, let's make a prediction, man. Like Microsoft, I know we're going a little longer than usual, but we'll just end it real quick. Microsoft's going pretty hard with snapping up. Let's just call them second rate. Like it's not yet, right? Maybe eventually they'll become like a Naughty Dog, like a Insomniac, like a Guerrilla Games.
No.
Maybe, right? I'll give them the benefit of the doubt.
No, that's not their strategy though. That's not what they're trying to do.
All right, what are they trying to do?
They're trying to just create a bunch of different game types, right? So they got In Exile for the strategy games. They got who else did they buy? Obsidian, right? They bought Obsidian, right? For like RPG type games. They got the folks that did Horizon, right? Playground games. They also got Ninja Theory for the action type games. And so it's really a play to get a whole bunch of different types of games on Game Pass, right? And then you play your games anywhere you want, on your PC, on your Xbox, Xbox One, on your iPhone over Project X Cloud. Like they're going for the subscription money, right? And if you're going for subscription, there's no reason you should be making Horizon Zero Dawn, which is like 200 hours, right? You don't want people paying subscription only playing one game. You want them playing a wide variety of games, right? So they're not going for like the high quality single player experiences that Sony's going for. They're going a completely different route, and only time will tell which one of those works out. But I can tell you right now, after seeing the PlayStation 5 stuff, like as far as I'm concerned, Microsoft is getting killed off. Right? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but you never know. You never know what they will come with when they show their event in July, right? The more closer to the end of July, right?
Their Halos and stuff. Maybe they do have some tricks up their sleeve, and it is good strategy they have to kind of avoid the head-to-head combat with Sony, because last generation didn't work out too well. And maybe they do know that like the likelihood of them having a Naughty Dog in their pocket or Insomniac or a God of War team.
They don't.
They don't, right? So the subscription is probably their best bet, where they just get enough people hooked to it, where they have like money flowing in. But it feels like Sony kind of has that in their back pocket too. So, they are fully dedicated to the streaming services. I feel like Sony's gonna win, man. Because in the end, Netflix, you go to Netflix not just because they have a bunch of movies. There's some quality movies there, right? And that usually wins people over other services.
Content's always king, right? But Microsoft is going the route of like, we're gonna have content. We're just gonna have a lot of it, right? We're gonna have a large variety of content that you could play anywhere. Like that's really what they are going for.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna pay us, and you're gonna pay us monthly. You're gonna pay us monthly for that privilege.
I don't know about that, right? I feel like I'm gonna pay Sony. Like I tried xCloud, not xCloud, their other one, Game Pass, the $5 one, for a couple months, and I just wasn't. I saw Gears of War, I saw Forza, and I was like, oh, it's cute. And then as soon as I saw a Sony one, I was like, oh, cool. There's a lot more games on this, even though their web application sucks compared to Xbox, because Xbox has Windows, right? But the games was like, I kind of like these games better. Like I will sit through this pain to play Horizon Zero Dawn streaming than to play Forza again.
I don't even see PlayStation has a streaming thing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, dude. Same deal. They it's $10 a month, and you can just play it on your computer, and it's just fully streamed. Yeah.
Are you talking? You're talking about PS Now, right? Is that what you're talking about?
I think so.
Or is there a new thing? No, yeah, it might be PS Now. But you can play Horizon on PS Now. I didn't even know that was possible.
It was on there. I mean, they pulled titles once out and stuff off. Yeah. God of War, the new God of War was on there. They put pretty good hits on there once in a while, and it's Spider-Man was on there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. The web application sucks. All right. If you play on PC, on the PlayStation, you can't even tell. PlayStation is PlayStation, right? But I like to play on PC sometimes. It's just horrible compared to the Microsoft version, but because the game is much more enticing, and even if if we're just talking about back catalog, man, PlayStation just wins, dude. It's just, I don't know what Microsoft can do. I just don't know.
They got Hot Shots. They got Hot Shots on there too. Hot Shots Golf.
Yeah. Talking about PlayStation.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. PlayStation 2 titles are insane compared to everything else. So only Nintendo can beat them in terms of back catalog. Yeah. So, anyways, we'll see, man. I'm very surprised the consoles are still coming out in the year. I feel like everyone's going to be pretty sick by then to go buy new consoles to justify it?
I think new consoles be perfect way to break up the monotony.
I guess. I don't know, man. Not everyone has like a great salary as if nothing happened like Ray over here. People are suffering out there, bro. Unemployment rate is crazy. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like the timing's right, man. They gotta delay it, dude. To me, it doesn't even feel like that you have enough consoles because China just recently just opened, right? So who's making all these consoles? I want to thank you for your time, Ray. It's been enlightening. I mean, I didn't watch the whole PlayStation 5, but it's cool to kind of get your thoughts on it. And next time we'll resume back to all the greatest news. I know there's a lot of stuff that came out the last month that I'll just gather up for the next month. But as always, it was great to have you on. You're sounding better, and I'll be a month from now. I'll have the new set. You know, I'm just, the apartment's COVID right now. Oh my god, temperature too hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll have it all set up and it'll be pretty cool, man. But thanks again for coming on and everything.
All right, no problem, man. Thanks for having me, and I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. See you, man.
All right.